Hello. Welcome. It is, oh my goodness, I'm already starting. It is Thursday, 12:30, so we're here for our Ounce of Prevention chat. Welcome. I'm Dr. Stephanie Fine. I am so happy to see you here today. And we are talking about topics of keeping weight off, losing weight, keeping it off, maintenance generally. And maintenance of weight loss is a broad journey that looks over years and years, and there's fluctuations in there and things and times for us to be more on our game. Sometimes we're more off our game, but we're not as off as we would be if we weren't thinking about maintenance. It's a long vision kind of thing. And so we talk about all the different topics that are important for a lifetime of a weight that you're happy with. And it's something you can do. 100% I know that to be true because I've been doing this for almost 18 years now. And I know it's possible. I myself have been doing it. That's how one of the really good ways I know it's possible. I've lost 50 pounds and kept a whole bunch of it off. Most of it, I'd say most of it. But it's been 9 years. Over the 9 years, there certainly have been times when I've been up 5, 6, 7, and then back down, and that's just how it goes. So anyway, so today we're actually going to be talking about back to the basics. So these talks are based on the Ounce of Prevention, which you can get into your inbox every single week on Thursday. And today is the third part in a 3-part sort of series that I ended up putting together the last 3 weeks. And the first step was debriefing your holiday, because it's just been holiday time, and it's a time when there's often, we were talking about fluctuations in weight. December can be one of those months that there is, an increase. There's environmental control issues, there's parties, there's family, there's lots of reasons. So 3 ounce of preventions ago, we talked about the first step on coming off of the holidays, which was debriefing your holiday, looking at what worked and what didn't. What would you keep and what would you change for next year? And then my favorite part of that one was putting it in your calendar for next year to remind yourself of the things that worked and the things that didn't. And the next one was last week, which was stepping on the scale. Did you do that? I hope you did, because what that helped you do was to know where you stand. And we got to do that. That's a place we have to start somewhere. And it's usually not going to get better even though we think it will. So it's better to just get on now and go from there. So hopefully you did that. And you're doing what needs to be done. So that's what this third part is. That's today. Back to the basics. What do you do once you have that information? And what I had said last week was to take one small step. And now we're building on that. So the steps to take as they occur to you are the ones that occur to you. Actually, it's back to the basics, but it's your basics. So what are the things that have worked for you in the past? There were times that you were able to lose weight, either effortlessly or just that you, things that you saw that made a big difference. And you did those. And you did those for a while. So you know it's in you to be able to do that. That's why it's so personal. Whichever thing works for you, that's the basic that I want you to go back to. So in Plan for Possible, which is our private Facebook group, which you can join. It's free. We'd love to have you in there. We have little conversations in there. And to join there, you just have to go to planforpossible.com and it'll take you right there. We had a discussion of what are your basics. And there were a lot of great ideas. So some of them were, this is one of my favorites, stop wine, which, especially with the holidays, you can get into that habit of having sort of nightly wine. And it's not, and if you're trying to lose some weight, some weight that you got on during the holidays, dropping the alcohol habit, at least as often as it's creeped into your schedule, is a great way, because those calories really can add up. So you don't have to get rid of it completely. You certainly can. And I had an article actually on the Facebook page about a dry January, like a no alcohol January. A lot of people do that as a counter to December, and it really would help with weight loss if you're used to having alcohol. So stopping wine, which again, can be a challenge, and I recommend in general easing into any of these basics. Ease into them. So it doesn't mean you have to go cold turkey. It means if you're having it every night, maybe you're having it every other night. And then maybe it makes sense to just have it on the weekends or something like that. The good news is we have time. So it took a little time to put on. It'll take a little time to get off. Fine. No problem. So do what works for you rather than what you're sort of forcing yourself to do. So stopping wine was one of them. Another one was a portion control by halving your portions. I love that idea. It's such a good idea. Halving meaning whatever you have on your plate and just eat half of that. Now you'll notice that you'll be satisfied with that amount of food, likely. Now, in the case that you aren't, then you can eat a little more. And see that I'm saying satisfied and not full. So that's the thing, is by halving your portion, you're going more towards satisfaction than that full feeling, because we actually don't need that full feeling, because we're going to be eating another meal pretty darn quick. We are very lucky to be able to say that. And that's the people who are watching this, that's likely the case, that you're having regular meals. So there's no need to eat a ton of food at one meal. You can have just a set until you're satisfied and then move on. So half portions, stopping wine, cutting sugar and carbs. So if you've had a success with that in the past, then that's a fantastic thing to do. And I had another one that was sweets. And that's the other thing, like with wine, the sweets, the desserts could have gotten you back into your routine. You know, with the holidays, there were a lot of sweets in the holidays. So getting that, cutting that down. And again, you could do it the same way. You can, instead of every night, you're having it every other night, or you have it only on special occasions or only certain things or that sort of thing. You can ease into it. But that certainly would help. And then there were some great substitution ideas for carbs like cauliflower rice and those sorts of things. It's such a good idea. Reminding yourself of what worked. That's what we're talking about. Your basics, your things that work for you. So I had oh yeah, I got them. Oh, and then there was mine. So one thing I know for sure is staying conscious of your food, of what you're actually putting in your mouth, makes an enormous difference. Your brain kicks in like, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have that second whatever. So for me, when I notice that I'm starting to go in the wrong direction, I check to make sure that if I'm logging my food, and most likely I'm not, because that's really the only way that starts creeping up for me. So I go back to it. Start writing it down. Oh, it's such a simple answer, and it's so much goes into it, but it really works out really well. So those are some of the basics. And the other important piece to me is not only to remember the basics for yourself, but that idea of easing into it. So if you do these things, the weight will come off because you're going to have fewer calories than you were having before. That's what we need to do. And we need to find a way to reduce the number of calories that doesn't feel like deprivation. That's where we're headed, because if it feels like deprivation, you're just going to rebel at some point. I mean, that's really inevitable in terms of when that happens. So easing into it so it doesn't feel like a deprivation really makes a difference. So that's what I encourage you to do. Pick something and go for it. Now, if you pick something, it's easy. Like, let's say wine, and you're like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm only going to have it Fridays and Saturdays, and you are able to do that no problem, and you still have some weight you want to lose, then you can pick another one. You can pick the portion one, or you can pick something, you know, something will occur to you. Like that snack that I've been having, oh, you know what? I'm not going to have the latte grande, you know, something like that. So I'm sending you love. Remember that 3-step process for the holidays. Hopefully you did that along with us, which was debrief your holiday, find out what worked, what didn't. Step on the scale to see what the damage was. Often it's not nearly as bad as you think. And 3 is this, go back to your basics, and you can get right back to where you need to be. Often we'll need support, and that's why I'm here. So you can meet me back here next week, 12:30 Thursday, and I will see you for your Ounce of Prevention chat. Share this video if it was helpful. I would love for your friends to get some help around this topic if that's what they would like. And I will see you next week. Mwah. Bye.